Okay, thanks, Mark. My name is Ming. I'm the faculty member from San Diego State University. So I will really want to follow the time, and so my talk will be very lightning and very quick, hopefully. Yeah, but I think I want to just rephrase the topic. I'm going to try to convey the message to everyone is how we can map in the spatial diffusion of innovation in the cyberspace, and what kind of a spatial distortion effect we using a different communication channel. But I think this is a part of my project, collaborate, also funded by the National Science Foundation. So I want to acknowledge this project, and also we have a 4 co-PI. I'm the PI of the project, and we do have a tremendous, wonderful graduate student. I want to make sure we acknowledge their effort. I think as a faculty member, without those graduate students, they are our muscle. So we are just, without them, we're just like old guys talking the fantasy idea without the actual actions. So move to the next slide. I want to ask you, how many of you know the diffusion innovation theory? I think a lot of it is one of the most popular social communication theory in social science. And actually, one of our pioneer in the GIS, in the space-time analysis, Professor Hagstrand, he actually is a pioneer of this diffusion innovation. Back to his doctoral dissertation, he analyzing those TB diffusion in the Switzerland, and then that's part of his doctoral dissertation. But the idea of was really popularized by this famous book, The Innovation Diffusion Model by Roger in 1962. So the idea of diffusion innovation is not a new technology only, but also the new idea, a spatial type of communication concerned with the spread of the message that perceive a new idea. So I want to take a look about our recent innovation. How many of you has purchased iPhone? iPhone, okay. So how many of you actually buy the first generation iPhone during the first week of the release? None of them? Actually, you can see the curve. There's a 10%, what we call the opinion leader, will take the action immediately. But how did you persuasive you purchase iPhone? There's a 2 communication channel. One is the public media. You see the nice TV advertisement about from the Apple, oh, this fancy iPhone device. But also, when you saw that commercial, you will not do the action to purchase that. But until your friends to actually tell you, oh, I brought the iPhone, very good. And then because of friends reference, and what we call it private communication channel, that will enable you to do the action to purchase that. But this, I think Hagstrand is identify there's a spatial concept, spatial process about the innovation diffusion. So I think our challenging question is, can we apply this diffusion innovation theory to the cyberspace, to the real world? I think one of the outstanding question or scenario is Occupy Wall Street. Yeah, when is the origin of Occupy Wall Street? In New York, right, in the Wall Street. But then it was spread out very quickly to the whole universe, whole world. Do we have an Occupy Urban and Champaign in here? Shall we? Is any activity in here? Occupy? Yeah. Yes? Yes. Okay, yeah, that means the idea do have diffusion. But how can we quantify? How can we visualize in the diffusion? That is a concept of my project trying to answer. Can we map in the social idea on the digital earth? Can we create some kind of social weather maps to identify the hotspot of a social movement, to identify the dynamic change of a social event, concepts? And so we designed this prototype, it's called the Swarm prototype, and we try to collect a keywords we call ontology formation related to a specific event like burn Koran or radical social movement. And then using the web search engine and also the Twitter search engine to identify those, where the idea come from the which services. And we geocode them and see the pattern. So this is one of the 2 efforts we are working right now. We are collecting web page as a semi-public information communication using the Google, Yahoo, and Bing search engine. And we can collect a keyword up to 1,000 web pages associated with the keyword. And we're using the IP address to georeference. The good thing for the web page is it provides the ranking. So the higher rank of web page, it means more authority, more popular in the cyberspace. On the other hand, we also use social media tweets to analyzing the keyword and hashtags. Yeah, so that's a two method. This is one of the screenshots we use in our tool to collect the keyword, and we can retrieve up to 1,000 results per sim. But I want to show you this graph is very interesting. We use the keyword burn Korean as a radical action. Actually, you know, if you know the history, this action has triggered a lot of the unfortunate events in Afghanistan. But this keyword, how does that relate to the distribution of city? Which city has more popular about this concept? So what we did is we using the kernel density to create this burn Korean web information landscape. The darker side of the map means high density of the websites. But also we want to standardize, because you see the big city always has a bigger number of a web page. So we standardize by using the 5,000 web page. And this is a differential map between this one and this one. But this map, interesting, is tell us, compared to the average web density, the red color indicate the higher density of web page talk about burn Korean. The blue color is indicate the lower than average density. So you can see in Southern California, most of the people are not interested about the topic burn Korean. But in the middle of Kansas, Texas, people are very interested compared to the average. And 2 days ago, there's a tragic event situation happened in the Wisconsin, in the Milwaukee. So I will just take a look about. I was surprised to find out in Chicago and Milwaukee, there's a red color in here. Is this signal has reflecting some reality in our world? We don't know. I think this is our team want to monitor and to verify in the next few months. On the other hand, the social media, we're using the Twitter, using the search API and string API, and we define the search boundary and using those Python script. This is the example we're using the keyword. We want to analyzing using the 2012 presidential election to compare how the popularity of a tweet versus their actual voting result in the ROP, the Republican presidential campaign. So this example we can collect from the tweets from Mitt Romney, a lot of interesting statement, all the user and then their location. But their location, either their self-described location or they have a GPS. And I want to read one of the statement. You see who is interested in protesting Mitt Romney. And also, well, Mitt Romney told me that he liked my earrings. I can leave Iowa happy. This is the collection during the event of Iowa primary. So what we did is comparing the 1 day before the election, what's the percentage of tweets, and to the actual election result. We do find there's some similarity between the popularity of tweets and the actual result. But we also find out one of the candidates, Ron Paul, has a huge distortion because Ron Paul has a very big support from the younger generation. So he always got a very high number of tweets, but in reality, it's very small. So this one to conclude that my last slide. I think in our interpretation, the cyberspace are interesting to reflecting our real world. But every time when we're using the Twitter, Facebook, we create a distortion. As a cartographer, I'm fascinated about the projection method. So I think maybe every single one is different type of media is have distortion effects. So how we can explain that to understand and explain that real world, that is a challenge to find out the algorithm. So that will be my final slide. The last key point is when we're analyzing those social media, we have to be very careful because those big browsers concern civil liberty. So this is a slide I was using the Google Street Map to pick my neighborhood's backyard. Yeah, so you have to be very careful. But before I use that, I have no idea my neighborhood has a ping pong table in their backyard. So that's conclude my talk. Thank you very much.